I can't believe it. It's a great honor. This is the biggest get of the podcast ever, and I want to introduce. You might know him as the 45th president of the United States.
Well, it's true, Josh. Well, it is true. And I will tell you that you talk about great works of art. You have Josh failing Peck, who was just really a lot better in the early 2000s. A lot of people are saying that. He's failing like a dead dog, small cameo in the great Oppenheimer, a great, tremendous friend. I actually, excuse
hurts.
me, Josh.
It still hurts.
Josh,
hurts.
shut your mouth.
Sure, Don.
Oppenheimer was a friend of mine. I knew this guy very well. It was actually my idea to do the bomb.
Really?
And he was a smart and tough guy, and that's what we need more of. Thank you very much, China.
Sorry, you queued him up now.
Wow, that was incredible and
Thank
hurtful.
you. Sorry,
that was
I'm
incredibly
sorry.
hurtful.
Josh
So
is better
good.
now. He's better now.
Oh my God! Do you do an impression of a therapist? Because that's what I'm
Probably.
going to need after that one. Christ Almighty!
I'm
Welcome
sorry.
to the podcast.
You
Dick.
queued him up, yeah.
Matt Friend is here, brilliant performer,
Thank you.
entertainer, impersonator, and most importantly, crushing Hollywood so hard right
try.
now. I can't get over it.
No,
Mazel.
first
You
of all,
deserve it.
I have to say it's an honor to be here, and I know you hear this with countless guests under the age of 35, but I did grow up idolizing you, so it is a thrill to be with you, and thank you for having me.
Just a good.
So you didn't grow up idolizing me? I don't
Not really,
understand.
but Josh I love. Yeah.
I don't understand. Matt, it is absolutely wonderful to have you. Your
Thank you.
impressions are totally viral. So good.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on the Good Guys podcast.
I'm
the
thrilled
number
to
one
be here.
podcast
This is
in
just
the
a
United
bunch of
States.
Jews.
Number
You
one.
could-
It's a bunch of Jews.
You could call this podcast the Millennials of Zion because this is really, I mean, we could control the weather with us three.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, well, you're doing a great job controlling the environment of this podcast room because it is like an Apple store in here. My God.
It is. Do
It
you want
is.
some Apple Care?
I
Hey,
would.
Did you hear that Apple can no longer sell the iWatch because of some court injunction?
I think it's because they've never sold an iWatch. It's actually an Apple Watch. But anyways,
Oh, what did I call? Oh, an
right.
Apple Watch, an iWatch.
I can't wait for the comments. This arrogant piece of shit coming on your podcast.
But have you met Jimmy Kimmel?
I met him twice. Actually, I saw him last night. Actually, too. At
And
yeah.
and what do we think?
To me, he's been fantastic. What do you think?
No,
Oh,
we
boy.
just have a running bit on this podcast thing.
Wait, what is the
But
bit?
it's
I
not
don't know
a
the
real-
bit. Shit. Oh God.
Ben's
Josh,
a big
Josh
Jimmy
has been
Kimmel
to his
fan.
house. They've broken bread.
Yeah.
I have. He's got two houses. He's
Okay.
got three.
It's two more than me. Three more than me.
He's got two houses next to each other, and one is just strictly the party house.
I see.
So he'll throw gatherings, dinners.
You're just
you know.
rubbing this in my face, right?
Yeah, it's just a nice time. I was actually there with a couple people you do impressions of.
Who was there?
Mr. Howard Stern.
I'm sure he was. Right.
Yeah, he was.
I'm sure he was there. Right.
He was there.
Jimmy Kimmel sent my Howard impression to Howard, I think.
Is that what
and
got
at
you on the
Stamos.
show?
Yeah, I think they both did. Yeah.
And what was it like being on Howard Stern's show doing? Because he doesn't love people that do impressions of him, right?
No, historically he's hated it, and I thought he was going to hate it. And then I was doing it like in college and for a long time, and then one random morning I get a call from his producer saying Howard wants to talk to you right now, and I was sleeping.
Gary
So-
Delabate.
Wow.
It was Mehmet Walker, another producer, and I jump out of my bed and I throw on my wig, even though he wasn't going to see me. I just had to get into character.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden I just hear, right, I've been listening to a tape of this kid, Robin, and it's fucking me up. Because every time I'm talking, I hear his voice in my head and I can't get it out. Eh.
Yeah.
And then I've been going back on and it's been crazy.
I'm sure you don't get sick of this, but you really are very good.
Thank
You're
you.
very good at that.
Thanks.
And I'm sure that it just boosts the ego hearing it every time.
I got to be
But
myself.
really,
We're on Josh's
I-
podcast.
I think it's easier because I'm remote. I can barely see you. I literally just heard Howard Stern.
Oh, great.
I'm like, where the hell is he?
Fantastic.
Where is Howard?
What do you
Amazing.
think? What do you think? Because it's fascinating to see all the people that you've literally done impressions to their face.
Yeah.
And you have like Kyle Dunnigan has a famous story about Bill Maher absolutely hates his impression of him, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's the best story ever. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And it's an amazing impression.
It's an amazing
phenomenal.
impression. So what is it about certain people who hate it?
I haven't encountered it yet, thankfully. I mean, I think it also depends on maybe the way you approach it with certain people. Like you can't, because on social media, I've been seeing people on the street and people think it's like I'm TMZ or something, but the truth is it is honestly random.
It is random.
It
that
is
you-
random.
Like you ran into John Oliver the other night.
John Oliver and I, we did a set at the same comedy club, and I went up to him after the show, and I said, I'm a big fan, and we just did a little video. He goes, honestly, it's not bloody bad.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And it was a great moment, but I think it's like a little level of respect, and I tee them up. But maybe I'm just lucky with the ones I do. I don't know how Bill Maher would react if I started doing him, honestly. Okay, people. Okay. Yeah, I got to work on that. I'm doing an impression of Kyle doing it. He's so good, though.
So when you think about doing somebody, I like just where this is going.
Yeah.
How do you start to think about learning their voice? Do you just listen to it nonstop? Like for people that, I guess most people that want to do impressions, please don't. Just don't even try. That said, if you have an inkling that maybe you have a natural talent, do you have any advice for people that are trying to do an impression?
It's just a lot of. My sister called me a glorified parrot recently, and I think there is something to that. Maybe like when I do my first special, I'll call it that. But it's just like upset. I just loved old school show business growing up, and this kind of answers your question. I just loved comedy and like the history of late night and all these like old figures in Hollywood, and I was just kind of devouring information. I think it was just kind of obsessively watching these things. I just started. I don't know where it came from or an ability to do it. There's not really any input or advice, just a lot of watching movies and TV shows, and I need to read about these people so I can actually have substance with what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
It's not really a good answer to your question. It's just like
No,
I
but
just-
so you
I will-
consume a
it's
ton of their
obsessive.
content and you remember it.
yeah, like
That's
it's all the time. Like I walk down the street as King Charles in The Crown. Like
I will put my hands behind my back and just go, my God, it's great outside. It's absolutely great. Fantastic.
Do you
Yeah.
are you lucky in the sense that because you have a voice for radio, right? Like it sounds like your natural resting voice is. It's not a surprise to me that Howard's in your wheelhouse,
Right,
Or,
yeah.
or even like John Oliver, right? Like great, like diaphragm based,
Yeah.
beautiful baritone tones. Is there anyone who you listen to? You go, that's too far out of my range. Like I have a very high voice.
Oh yeah, like, there are certain people that I want to like try to figure out, especially when I've been doing like some singing stuff ones too, and I want to branch
you have
out.
a great voice.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's certain like impressions or whatever that I do want to figure out. Yeah, 100%.
Like, what's your Mount Rushmore? Like, who are some people that you're just like,
Aside
God, if
from
I-
Cosby, I would say, yeah, okay. And who that I want to figure out that I currently do.
No, that you want to figure out that you think would be a real stretch. You'd really have to work on it.
Oh, that's a good question. Wow. Let me get back to you on it. Let me think
Okay.
on it. I mean, I was working on Shawn Mendes. I just did him on another podcast. I'm trying to figure out like a little nuance there with his voice. That's random, kind of, but
Is there? I always.
I look at who's big in the culture, like politically, in who's in whatever movie, you know. So that's a big thing.
Is there?
And oh,
Go, Ben.
go, Josh.
No, you go.
Okay.
You go.
I was just going to say, how much does clips play into who you're going to learn? So you said somebody who's relevant in pop culture now. Obviously, I found you on TikTok. I'm sure.
Well,
a
you
lot of
found me
people
on
did.
Truth Social, but you can lie.
I've found you on social.
Rumble.
Right.
Oh, on Truth Social.
Yeah, on Parlor.
Find him on Rumble.
Josh is big with the alt right.
But like I would think that the more relevant the person is right now, the more you'll probably blow up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Virality. Like how much does that play into it?
I haven't thought about it in terms of that until like if there's like an award season or something, I want to get a reference. Like I was doing Bradley Cooper and Maestro. Like that was clearly intentionally getting ready to do that for this period of time right now. But there's just certain, definitely relevance helps for sure.
Love it. Well,
As much as
Josh
I would like
and
to do my Milton Berle impression for people, I don't think that's going to fly in the comedy clubs.
No, I'm telling you know, if you've got like a nice Mamie Van Doren or
Yeah, who doesn't love a nice Rosemary Clooney and
Yeah.
Johnny Carson?
yeah, Bing Crosby maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I do Bing Crosby, yes.
What so you do a great Andy Cohen and you have that great video I think
Yeah.
of the first time. Was that truly you running into him in New York?
That
Are you stalking people?
listen. So
I wouldn't blame you.
So Andy Cohen, that actually happened in like a 2-week stretch. I ran into Rami Malek, John Oliver, and I think Andy Cohen in like 3 weeks, and that's when it all started. I
I've
swear.
never run into anyone,
wait,
and
so-
I'm like quasi famous.
Josh, he's manifest.
Do you know why you
That's
don't need
what
to
it
run into
is.
them? You don't need to run
Manifesting.
into them because you already go to Kimmel's house with Howard Stern.
You're not.
Okay.
Come on. Is it like that? You know they're in
I
an
can tell you-
area,
I
and you
can
just
tell
are
you-
like, I'll take my walks.
I can tell you exactly what happened.
Okay.
I was actually on the way to having breakfast with my friend Michael Gandolfini. We went to college
bless.
together.
God bless
so
his
that was
father,
planned.
R.I.P..
Yes. And then on the way to that breakfast, I see Andy Cohen taking a selfie with a fan. He's wearing tight, short shorts, and he looking strong. He looks at me, I look at him, time freezes, and he just says something like, "You're the guy who does me, right?" And then we did a little thing, and I was like, "Andy Cohen, what do you think of this impression?" He goes, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you're young, you're cute, and you're Jewish. Yes.
Yeah.
Then I put the phone on all the platforms, and all the comments had one central theme. That theme was, they definitely f***ed after this. That was the theme of all the
Well, if you're going to do it, if you're going to sleep with a
Do
man,
it.
yeah,
Go
do
in.
it with
But it was
color.
completely
all
random. I
in.
swear to God, it was totally random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, wow, it's totally, because my question would be like, you see this famous person, right? And it's like, do you even bother saying, excuse me, I do a great impression?
Yeah,
or do you go right into Andy, come here?
No, I definitely, I'm not running up to them like a maniac, and also like, I wouldn't like just put my camera in their face. It was actually like, I think he was the one actually who suggested doing a video on the street. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's a vibe check. I think being a comedian helps. So you have to be able to read the room and a person. Like, you can't just be like, if someone's at dinner, I'm not gonna go up to their table unless it's Josh Peck. But
Yes.
then I would ambush the shit out of you. Yeah, Josh is eating at Craig's later tonight, so we'll make that happen.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs like my boy Ben, like my beautiful boy Ben, to stand out and succeed online. Now, whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content in no time, all in one place, all on your terms. Look, you need a website. Duh. Obviously, everyone needs a website. Even things that you don't think need a website. If I see that something doesn't have a website, I'm more than likely not going to go or not going to engage with it. And why not use Squarespace to make your life easy? Like, if you want an online store, you can sell your products with an online store with Squarespace. Whether it's physical, digital, or service products, Squarespace has the tools you need to start selling online. If it's custom merch, you can design your products and production, inventory, and shipping. It's all handled for you with Squarespace. It's going to save you time and money. And the other part that I really like is that there's an asset library, or there's a video collection, right? So you can host video content and organize your video library and showcase your content on beautiful video pages, which we do a lot of video here at Good Guys. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/goodguys to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Element has been a proud sponsor of the Good Guys for a while now, and that's because they help you stay hydrated, and the Good Guys are about hydration. But we don't want sugar. We don't want those dodgy ingredients found in popular electrolyte and sports drinks. We all know they're delicious, and we all know they're basically not good for you. But with Element, you are going to fix that electrolyte deficiency or imbalance. It's giving you headaches, cramps, fatigue, brain fog, and weakness. Oh, the brain fog that I used to once feel after lunch and having kids and just trying to get my thoughts and my brain to work after like 2:00 in the afternoon. Please. I introduced Element in my life. It's over. Look, it's a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix born from the growing body of research revealing that optimal health outcomes occur at sodium levels 2 to 3 times the government recommendation. It can fit in any of your diets, whether you're doing low carb, whole food, paleo, keto, and even if you're fasting, it won't break your fast. But people from Navy SEALs to athletes in the NFL, NBA, NHL, Olympics, people, or even, listen, special forces, which I know you are at your desk. You're a cubicle special force. So go to drinkelement.com/goodguys to receive a free Element sample pack with any order when you purchase through our URL. Try Element totally risk-free. If you don't like it, give it away to a salty friend, and we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. We have a very low return rate and high reorder rate, baby. I do want to understand the childhood. Happy home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Say more.
I was very lucky to have a very supportive family. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I know, similar. Sorry. Yeah.
No.
Not
Josh
everyone
is so
can win,
upset.
right?
He's like, "F they're both alive.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
they are. They are.
Mazel, by the way. Your dad stuck around. What's that like? No,
Yeah.
because like you hear these greats, like, I mean, so many people with this rare talent like yours, it's like it's born out of necessity, right? Like they had some like funny childhood or inconsistent childhood, and you're like tall, strapping. You got two parents at home. So was it just an obsession with
Yes.
Hollywood?
Yeah, I read Mel Brooks's autobiography. I think it was called like All About Me, and he has a page in it. He talks about like he has a description of how in comedy there's this idea that you had to have a very horrible upbringing or whatever.
Sure.
And he had like he just loved making people laugh. And I know it sounds corny, but that is the truth. I mean, I watched the movie Austin Powers when I was like 4 years old, and I just started mimicking him, and I just kind of was obsessed with it. I don't know why. One big inspiration for me was, I'm not into show business family at all, but my dad's roommate in college was Hank Azaria. And I was always watching him growing up, and I saw Spam a lot, and I just was doing like, I fart in your general direction, and I don't know where it came from. I grew up with YouTube, but I just was watching like Don Rickles and Ed Sullivan and Dean Martin roasts, and it just came, I didn't have an idea of what Hollywood was or different stereotypes about the business. I just liked doing this.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and it's starting to happen. Yeah.
And when you're doing an impression, like it seems like there are certain keywords that help people get into the impression. Like with walking, right? It's like
Absolutely.
like people will just do like
That was good.
Or like Obama's like there's like a gravel.
Obama, actually, I just have to kind of change my neck, and then I get him right here. Yeah. So I have to say that Josh Peck has, without question, not only the best podcast that I've ever seen, but he is proof that I am my brother's keeper. Thank you so much. Now, yeah, that's a fun one. But I just did a Giamatti video, and like the hook with him, I just go, oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Very well. Very well indeed.
It was, I mean,
it's weird.
That video, particularly watching him riff with you, like
I got lucky.
Is that everything you want in those interactions?
I mean, that's like, for me, peak SNL is like when they have the person with the person. That's like always been my favorite thing, like Fallon and Seinfeld at Update. That's the shit I love so much, and it's crazy that it's happening, that I'm getting to make those experiences. I don't know why I don't have you down. It's kind of unfortunate.
I'm glad. You're going to have to work on a list.
I'll figure it out. But the Giamatti thing was out of control. The best one, I think, has been my Jeff Goldblum encounters.
Right.
Where he brought me, I bought a ticket to see his show. He has a jazz band, the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra. Most Jewish sounding thing you've ever heard in your life. And I bought a ticket. He had seen my impression before, and I bought a ticket to see his show, and I was meshing with his wife, and I think she was aware that I was going to be there. I was with my sister, and then I didn't know if he knew I was going to be there, but all of a sudden he comes into this small jazz club, and he looks at me and goes, wait a minute. I believe I know you. I've come upon you. You've done many impressions of me and Rami Malek and many other people. Come to the stage. And then he brought me on stage, and we did. It was insane.
I love that you're trying to front like you gave any shit about Jeff Goldblum's jazz band. Other than him.
Dude,
come on, you were.
I did not give a shit.
Of course,
I wanted to try to meet him.
That's amazing.
But I will say, it was one of the best.
Should.
It was like an insane show. I want to see it again.
I love that.
Have you seen it?
Jeff Goldblum's jazz band?
Yeah.
Missed it. No, I haven't. No shit on Jeff Goldblum. But no.
But Josh, we did see that Jeremy Renner Fixer Upper show. What was that called? We did see Renner.
You haven't seen the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra?
I haven't seen Matthew McConaughey's bluegrass band either. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
This is just random, Ben, but we have to talk about this. So Matt was saying how I had childhood asthma, Judaism, and Matt had childhood food allergies that he was in a study for that relieved you of them, that cured them?
I was life-threatening anaphylactic food allergies, like over 12 times could have died. Like I vividly remember gluten. I was allergic to wheat, rye, oats, and barley.
That's why you're so fit.
Deathly allergic to wheat. Like before gluten-free was a thing.
Wow.
A crumb would have killed me.
OG
like literally.
celiac.
Not celiac, actually worse. Anaphylactic, which is like a whole other thing.
Wow.
Like throat would close.
EpiPen.
Yes. And then I was one of the first people in the country. I was in this program at Stanford, and a doctor named Kari Nadeau changed my life. It was a process called oral immunotherapy.
Nothing sexual, right?
Or you increased your tolerance level to whatever you're allergic to by eating small bits of it.
This is not new.
No, it was new.
That's how I got over. That's how I got
new.
over my lactose intolerance.
When I did it, it was
cheese.
new. Yeah.
You diarrhea. You eat more cheese. You have diarrhea, and eventually you don't have diarrhea.
So we're good now. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I just would have loved if you said, yeah, the study basically they just made me convert to Christianity.
Yeah, I had to.
And suddenly I had no more allergies.
I became a Scientologist, and then here we go. Yeah.
Recently, you did an impression to Austin Butler to his face.
Yes.
And we've been a little critical of his thing a little bit, but like with all due respect, much respect, great actor, couldn't be happier for him. And it made me like him even more because he seemed like poised to not be as cool as he was to you, and he really took the joke. Like,
oh my
he
God!
Loved it.
Well, that was the night of him winning the Globe, and then
The Golden Globe, for those who don't know in Hollywood.
and Trump is like my internal monologue. It's a problem.
I got to get him out of there, right?
Yeah, and then all these celebrities come on the carpet, and I was just a random guy with a little lav mic. I wasn't guaranteed to talk to anyone. And then Austin comes in, everyone wanted to talk to him. And then his publicists were moving him past, but then he recognized me somehow, and then we had this great moment.
And it was really fun. I said, I feel like I'm doing you, and we're doing the husband, Austin Butler as Elvis, and
He was a great sport about it.
So you recently crushed it on the Golden Globes red carpet. You were there interviewing people, and tell us about that experience, because I can imagine it is so unique. You mentioned publicists, the amount of
It's insane.
fanfare of publicists strong-arming you. Or tell us everything.
So the way it originated was my manager, who you know, Jack. Yeah, he introduced me.
Shout out Jack Reed.
Shout out Jack. Yes, Sleazy.
Shout out, man.
We call him Sleazy
Love
Reed.
Jack Reed.
Yeah.
I can't believe you weren't at renovations.
Oh my God.
My man.
Yeah, this is my manager. She's like, all right, yeah, I got a new brand deal for you. Yeah. Yeah, hang on, got Doritos on the phone. Yeah, 30 G's, couple of TikToks. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's too niche.
It's good scratch
Yeah.
for
Dude,
Doritos.
Jack-
Fantastic.
We were joking before that Jack just loves money, and so he'll call you and
That's
be
all
like,
he cares about.
I've
yeah.
got a brand deal from the Islamic Republic of Iran, like from the tourism board.
Yeah.
Gonna ruffle a few feathers so you can take it down in 30 days.
I think Jack was like, well, just out of curiosity, like, what's the minimum number to go, like, do a thing with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, a little private performance? I'm like, Jack would send me to, like, perform, like, do some crazy thing in Saudi Arabia. Like, who the hell knows?
Has there been inroads to have you go perform in Mar-a-Lago for
That has
Trump?
not happened. No,
He
no,
won't pay
no.
you.
Look what happened to
You're not-
Fallon. That's not going to happen.
You're not going to get paid.
But anyway, no, the Globes, I got introduced to this guy, Jeremy Lowe, who works at Dick Clark, and he took a risk, and he had me on the carpet last year, and it worked out. We had all these great videos. Then they had me come back, and I was centered, like, I was like the first person you see on the carpet. It's like all these people are coming in, and they go to Mario Lopez and all these different people, and I'm just like with a Globes microphone. It's kind of crazy. Like, there's not really a plan. I know what I want to do, but I'm not like a Access Hollywood interviewer. I'm a comedian. So I was just kind of figuring it out, and Jack was filming me. He was holding my phone. I bought a microphone at Sammy's hardware camera shop, whatever, and then I plugged it in. I was monitoring the sound myself. Could have been a disaster. And then we get these crazy viral moments, and it is stressful. Like, you have to be completely focused and on, because you're corralling these people. They're walking by. Some of them are too cool to stop, which I find interesting.
Like who?
Well, if we're going to be specific,
No, no, I mean, like, they were just like, you can see it. It's all video. People that just walked right by me.
Sure.
One guy I really wanted was Matthew McFadden from Succession. Yeah. I said, I'm such a big fan. I do an impression of you. He goes, good for you. And he keeps walking.
Oh, God.
But you know
What
what,
a rat
Tom?
bastard.
No, but hey, buddy, buckle up, fucklehead. I have a dick the size of a red sequoia, and I fuck like a bullet train. I love me some Tom. But that was sad. I wanted to get him. Josh thinks I have schizophrenia. But anyways, he's like, what is happening? I take a Zyrtec before this, Josh. I'm hyper. But anyways, Josh is looking at me like this is a Make-A-Wish. My God.
It's not.
Both of us need a therapist.
You're enough, Matt.
Surreal.
You are enough.
surreal experience. Like, because, all these, like Jack Black and all these people coming by. It was unbelievable. And then the Paul Giamatti moment happened. I was interviewing Jim Gaffigan. I was doing a Jim Gaffigan to Jim Gaffigan. I mean, it's just so great to be here. Talking about Hot Pockets on the carpet. Look at him in New York, just smiling. And then Paul Giamatti walked by and I missed him and I was sad.
Yeah.
And then there's a little hallway where the winners go.
Maybe Josh will find out about that one day. You never know, right?
There's a little hallway.
Who knows? Probably not.
There's a little hallway where the winners go, and I just happened to be standing there. Giamatti wins, and then we had that amazing moment.
And and are like certain publicists strong-arming you? Like the moment you try to get in there, are they like
For sure.
buffering for their
Absolutely.
clients? They're the toughest.
They're tough, but
they're tough.
It's easier when the talent
knows you.
me. Yeah, like sometimes they'll circumvent it and go past the person, but other ones they just will nod. I think John Hamm, I think he knows who I am because I think he went like, "Hey-o!" It just keeps
Really?
walking.
John Hamm. Do you ever see the hammer that he's working with?
He scares me. He's intimidating.
The guy's hung like a Clydesdale. God bless.
John Hamm must
Talented,
be hung like a
handsome.
maniac, right?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't care who knows it. I'm
You know,
not
like
cutting this
Milton
out.
Berle and
Don't
John
cut this
Hamm.
out, me. I'm sorry. I'm just making a note to myself.
But I saw you at a party later that night.
Yeah, the Universal party.
It was crazy.
It was pretty good. We talked about it on the pod, and I want to hear from your standpoint what it was like.
That party, because this is like new to me. Like I haven't like gone to these really, and I'm just starting going to these events, and I suddenly found myself in a room. It doesn't even make sense. Like I see you, and then I'm in this like room, and there's like Cillian Murphy and Giamatti and Krasinski and Nolan. I'm like, what am I doing in here? Right? It didn't even make sense that I was in there.
Yes.
And I'm like, this place looks like Madame Tussauds come to life.
Yes.
Then I see Josh Peck standing there. And the funniest thing was, I actually asked Cillian for a selfie at the Globes. I sound like such a Hollywood douche during this, don't I?
It's okay.
But that's the point. We're in Hollywood. It's Dear Media, baby.
Yeah.
And
Said no one ever.
Okay. Yeah, like a fucking orthopedist's office here. My God.
You're welcome.
And then he was like, I'd rather not. And he kind of walked by me. And then
That's amazing.
Wait.
God, I love Cillian.
Wait. But then, like 2 hours later at the party, it registered. I'm at a point like he remembered who I was. Then he was like, "Oh my God, my son loves your videos." And then I meet his son. And then we started talking. But it was just funny how at first he didn't recognize me, and then
Here's my
he was
question.
so cool and nice.
Had he won when he said no?
No, it was early. I think it was earlier in the night. Yeah.
He hadn't won yet.
Yeah, but he was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and also to his credit, like I'm sure, I mean, the amount of nerves going into that
Oh my
thing, and like
God.
he probably was so relaxed then.
I wonder
and,
what you
like,
would have done if I'd asked you for a selfie.
Wouldn't have been good.
It wouldn't have been good.
No, of
Right.
course I
Okay,
would have
good,
taken
good.
it. I'm the selfie king over here. I don't turn people down.
Josh is
Listen with my kid.
number one nicest person
I can
ever.
tell.
You meet him,
I'm all
you
right.
ask him for a selfie, he's giving you more than that.
Yeah.
You know, he's taking
No, I
you to
can tell,
dinner.
yeah.
I give you a free cameo you need, whatever you need.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
Very
about
generous
that?
with his time. Josh, should we have our impressions rated? You want to do that?
Yeah, please.
Please, sure. Yes, go for it, Ben.
So we spoke about this before. Josh and I, they're not very good, but we still want to see. We want to see what you think. We want to see what you think. Josh,
Oh,
do you want to
this
go
is so
first? You want me to go
embarrassing.
first?
Go
We're each
for it,
going to do
Ben.
two. We're each going to do two. Okay. All right. Oh, your tea, sugar in your tea, you Virginia Doubtfire, dear.
I'm so uncomfortable.
I'm weirdly aroused. I have a boner right
I
now.
hate this.
My God.
Marshall
Oh, it
just
was a
left the
run by
room.
fruiting.
I don't know who that was, but I liked it.
Marshall just quit. Do another line from this great mid-90s film with Robin Williams and Sally Field.
How does it know? That's the line.
What's the line? Do it again. I was talking
That
to
was the line.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. All right, you don't know who that is. Wow. Okay.
You know,
All right, we'll go next. We'll skip to my next one. Or wait,
Yes.
so we're rating that as 0.
I'm listening. No, it was
Mrs.
Yeah.
Doubtfire.
Okay.
We've seen it, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, I
Okay,
thought you were
good.
talking about you're going to cue up another one. Okay,
That
I
was
see.
his
Of
impression.
course,
Okay.
yeah.
No, that was my impression.
I see.
All right,
That was an interesting
Josh, we're never playing this game again.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm
Cutting
going
it
Needs-
out.
needs
Don't
a little
worry.
work.
Okay.
This isn't happening.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse.
It's also because you're doing the Zoom. You're in New York, and so it's like not coming in through. I mean, go for it, Matt.
No, you.
I think it's excellent. Mickey Mouse, clearly.
It was pretty good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. Comments
good.
are going to eat this
Just
alive.
call in a bomb threat to the building. Josh, you go.
Oh man,
Let's hear it.
I can do a little Tracy Morgan. No, that's Christopher Walken.
That's just what Tracy Morgan is.
Tracy Morgan hanging out with Christopher Walken. I'm gonna get you. Now it's too much pressure. It's just too much pressure.
You got to do it. Mine completely bombed. You have to do it.
Let's see. Tracy Morgan. What would he say? I'm Tracy Morgan. It's terrible.
Pretty good. That's a really hard
I'm
one.
gonna get you pregnant. I'm gonna get you pregnant.
That's a hard one to do. That is fucking good.
Josh, do your Obama. Your Obama's pretty good.
Josh, let's hear that, please.
Because he'll do certain things like, dear media, dear media, number one media,
Dear media,
Here-
dear media, hello everybody.
Matt Friend, really funny guy.
I appreciate that.
Kind of mean.
You think so?
Your Trump's a little mean.
Here's the thing, Josh. As anyone knows, if I'm going to do Trump, I got to stay true to the character.
No, I get it. I love it.
I love you, but Trump, you never know what he would say. Imagine what he
Donald-
would say about me.
Matt Friend, a pathetic voice guy, really fails. He's just so he sticks to me. He profits off of me. Doesn't even vote for me. Someone's saying that he's a failure. He sucks up to the stars. He's pathetic.
He would love you.
I don't know. I think he'd love you.
I think
he would love you.
He would
No,
love
he
you.
would love you, though.
All right, so Josh, we're never playing that game again.
Never play
I've
it again.
decided that we're going to end the podcast here. I'm going to delete my Instagram and I'm going to move away to an island.
Okay.
I'm going to move away to an island.
I
right.
think Trump likes anyone who likes him.
Well,
Like,
who's this? Yeah, well,
But I think an
do.
impression is
Yeah, in the impression. Yeah, sure.
inevitably an impression. Like people, anyone who's got issues with an impression, you just have to take it as like a total. I mean,
It's
it's
I don't
so
know that
good.
he would take it
it's
well.
a compliment.
I mean,
Oh, he'd love it.
I don't know about that.
He would love it.
The things
He
I
would love
say
it.
though in it, I don't think he would care for it.
Why?
I think that it's hard. I mean, I would assume it's very, very hard to control what you say once you're in character.
Well, in that
you're just
character, you really have to say whatever you want.
Yeah,
that
whatever
guy,
you
he's
want.
he's a complete psychopath. I mean, he says anything. He's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think that? Okay, let's talk about
Yeah,
this
please,
because this is
please.
my favorite thing
Yeah,
to
go.
talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk big picture.
Yeah.
Big picture. You're crushing it. I'm so happy. Like
Thank you.
I love it's fun. It's fun to watch it and just to see your ascent. What is it like? I didn't even think that. Like I immediately thought like
Let's just get that follow on Instagram, then we can talk about what's up. Sorry, go ahead. Anyways,
I don't follow a lot of
I
people.
see,
I love
I see.
that it sticks in their car.
I
I'll never
see.
follow you now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Great,
yeah, because I know
beautiful.
it annoys you.
Okay, great,
I
yeah.
follow Ben. What
follows Mildred Snitzer.
I said to Ben, I was like, oh, like this guy easily could be hosting late night if that still exists in 15 years. And then Ben was like, but what about SNL? Like, what is there a dream scenario for you? Where do you think you're going? Have you talked to Lauren Michaels? Has anyone reached out?
Yeah, I mean, I went through a process. Like, I've submitted tapes, and I went through a showcase, and I just didn't really hear anything after.
Was the showcase the typical? You go to 30 Rock.
No, it wasn't
on the
that. It was like
stage?
at a venue in New York. But you know what? Like that was a dream of mine, and you know, it still very much would be. Like being very diplomatic about this answer. I feel
Sure,
like I'm like
fair.
a politician, but it'll be incredible. But I also at the same time I can't control certain things. I'm just focused on what I can control. Like that's why I'm trying to do my show and write my hour of stand up, and I'm touring, and like I can't be. The waiting game for me, I know that's part of the process, but it's like I can't focus on what's out of my control right now. That's why I'm
This
just
is a
focused
very influential podcast, so honestly, you never know who could be.
Yeah, I
listening.
mean, like, but that would be it'd be a dream. I mean, if that ever, what I'm doing is pretty aligned with I think what they do. But
Oh my God.
no, there'll be like I mean, my Instagram username used to be Matterday Night Live. Like I was like literally I love it, and I love the old like the history of it, like Phil Hartman. Like all those guys, but
Is he like your guy? Is it Bill Hader?
Bill Hader,
Like,
for sure.
Bill
yeah.
Hader's your
probably my top. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of learned how to do Howard Stern from watching Bill Hader do Alan Alda. Alan Alda's up here, right, from MASH, and Howard is right down here, right.
Right.
But anyways, Alan Alda, Howard Stern,
Wow.
right. But anyways, right. So, but No, but late night too. And acting, like I definitely want to be doing more. I had a small role. It was the first time being in like a movie. I did like Good Burger. I did like
saw
one
that.
scene.
Congrats! What a seminal film.
Very seminal
The
film.
original?
That's my Oppenheimer. Yeah.
What
That's
was
my
that like?
Oppenheimer.
What was the sequel to that like?
You know, it's funny because they were actually before my time. I wasn't even like alive when the first one came out.
No, how old are you?
25.
Jesus Christ, man! Good for you.
But
Good for you.
I was a Drake and Josh kid. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Don't hate me. It's true.
Why would I?
But yeah, no. But the late night thing too, like, because it's political and there's like the pop culture stuff. So I would love. Am I being boring on this? Am I being too corporate?
No, this is
I see him
interesting.
texting.
No,
But,
he's pulling up
no,
stories.
I'm kidding. No, but I
I'm not
would
texting.
late night. I love the history of late night, and I would love to do that.
I think, yeah, it's so, or like, and not to like make light of it because there's so much money in it. I think sometimes people find it corny, but like, you could have a residency in Vegas that would make you fucking, you would be Wayne Newton times 10. It'd be sick.
I like
Sick.
the residency in Vegas.
My
Call.
manager
if
would love
Cody
that.
Co, our
Please,
beautiful
Jack.
friend Cody Co, Josh, if Cody Co can get a music residency at the Win,
Does
we
he?
can get you.
Cody
we can
Co
get
has
you
a music residency at the Win.
Wait, what?
confirmed.
Wow.
Confirmed.
To do what? Listen
To play-
listen to
to
music.
play-
Guess who his opener
to play
is?
music.
Guess who his
To play
opener
music.
is? The Mildred Snitzer Orchestra with Jeff Goldblum.
That's
No, yeah, no,
That's
but
insane.
no, I would love like that's the thing about this tour. Like I'm building this hour and like doing shows, and that's I can see it like taping a special. It's definitely like in the immediate future what I want to. I'm focused on right now.
So
I'm
you said
building an
your
hour
next
of
show is at Gramercy?
That I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing my hour there at New York, and then just like kind of throughout the country right now.
And when is that show?
That's March 2nd, and then the other shows are on my website. Sorry, I'm plugging it.
What is the
mattfriend.com.
what is the
Plug
website?
away.
Yeah.
Mattfriend.com. Yeah, but that's where all my shows are.
What have you ever been in a romantic scenario where the person you are romantic with perhaps is, I would love to be making out with
This is a bit of mine in my
Jeff
show.
Goldblum.
This is a bit of mine in my show.
Yeah, tell me.
And I have a bit on this. Should I just do the bit?
please.
It's I was with this girl. Some of you are thinking, a girl? Really?
That's what they think of us.
Was with this girl, and
Terry Dubrow thought I was gay yesterday.
and,
Shout out Dr. Dubrow.
and she goes.
You
she's like-
did say that you don't like kissing your wife, but that's fine.
The premise of the bit. I won't ruin the bit.
The answer is, who is every husband? Jeopardy. I didn't know we're on Jeopardy. Sorry, go for it.
No,
Matt.
the premise of the bit. You'll see it when I release my stuff, but the premise of the bit is that she wanted to have sex with Trump, and it's like a joke. And like,
I'm gonna grab you by the pussy, right? Gonna eat that ass like a burrito bowl at Trump Tower. A lot of people are saying that.
no, but I've been about doing voices in different circumstances. I'll be like, this one girl, she's like, you're doing a great job. I think you're crushing it. Just do me a favor and stop using the German accent. And I was like, you want me to stop?
When do say you're on? Do you have a girlfriend right now?
No, no.
So you're on a first date.
Yeah.
I assume.
I show them a clip of me on Josh Peck's podcast. Go ahead. Yeah.
I wouldn't blame you.
Right.
When does any impressions come out? Do you like if they're not aware of you? Like,
Do you know what? Look, I'm not like like a monkey. Like, hey, you want to see some voices?
Yeah,
but
like-
it is a part of my personality. Like, like I'm not going to try to be funny over. Like, this is a podcast, obviously, so I'm more on. But like, if you're always on, that's a problem. Presumably, like if you're at dinner, like unless it's like calls for it, but it might come. Like Don Rickles once said that comedy is a personality, and if you know comedians, there's a certain personality to comedians, but they come out for sure.
yeah.
Sometimes they're just a part. Not like, hopefully, honestly, it probably is annoying. I would be so annoying. My God. But like, yeah, like I'll be just walking down the street. Oh, golly, I wonder what I'm going to have for lunch today. Yes. Perhaps a salad, a pad thai, a taco, a carne asada. I don't know. It's just very random.
Then should we get to our what are you nuts?
I don't know if you've ever watched the podcast before. If you haven't, what are you nuts?
Yeah.
But we do this segment called What Are You Nuts, where people, places, things, gripes that you have with humanity. You walk down the street and you're like, holy crap, that lady, what are you nuts?
Okay, gotcha.
So
Beautiful.
if you have one,
Okay.
you can listen to ours and,
Yeah.
and interject.
Let's hear it.
Josh, you want to go
so
first?
you
Let's
can
hear it.
have your.
Beautiful.
I'll go first. So last night I was eating with our good mutual friend Nick Vial and his beautiful wife and his mother-in-law, and we were. I was with my wife at this restaurant called Felix Trattoria. Trattoria. How would Stanley Tucci say that?
I would say, are we rolling?
Yeah.
We filming?
We're filming.
Okay.
We're filming.
I was having a delicious, scrumptious seno. Seno is, as the Spanish say, dinner. I was having a dinner at a luxury place in Los Angeles. It is called Felix Trattoria. Felix Trattoria, located in where?
Venice, California.
Located in Venice, California. Just as pizza is to Naples, Felix is to Venice.
Beautiful.
Sorry.
That's
You
right.
queued me up.
Shout out Felix. I love it.
Yeah.
Shout out Evan Funke restaurants everywhere.
Yes.
And so we were there enjoying this beautiful meal. And this is not a knock on Felix in any way. This is a knock on the dish as it exists in the world everywhere. Squash blossoms are what are you nuts? Okay, let's talk about this thing that is literally pumped. It's injected with the creamiest, fattiest cheese possible, right? A ricotta, something like that. And then it's deep fried only so that the third item of it, the squash blossom, which tastes like flour, which tastes like dirt, is just somewhat edible. Squash blossoms are what are you nuts? Felix Trattoria is delish.
Nuts.
What are you nuts?
Absolutely nuts. What are
Right?
you nuts?
Am I?
You're
Am
right.
I wrong, guys?
You're right.
Squash
No,
blossoms.
you're right.
You're right.
You're right.
I've got one.
You're right.
Let's ask our resident vegan, Marshall. Squash blossoms. Good. Wow.
Good? Oh,
See, it's
okay.
a vegan. So you have
Josh,
so little
Josh,
to
you
choose
asked a
from.
vegan about squash blossoms.
Okay.
Of course he was going to say he loved them. It's the only thing he can eat.
Go for it, Matt.
I feel so Seinfeldy, but I'm in the airport, I'm running to get to a flight, and like people who ride the moving walkway like it's a ride at Disney, they just stand on it still with their luggage.
So
I
good.
mean, what are you, nuts?
Nuts.
I mean,
Brilliant.
like
Nuts.
what? You're an adult.
Yeah.
I
Nuts.
feel like Sebastian Maniscalco. I mean, I'm in the airport. I see these guys riding the thing like they're at Disneyland. Go back home. You're an adult.
Yes.
Shut off the phone.
Yeah, sorry.
Can we do quickly? Can we do the forensics on Sebastian? Because
Oh,
I would
yeah.
love to hear the way in because he's Midwest.
Uh-huh.
There's the Chicago,
Arlington Heights, yeah.
and then there's the quiet.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. So
got
like,
that.
how do you? What's that recipe of approaching a Sebastian?
There's
It
like-
helps to be from Chicago.
There's
I'm
a
sure.
there's a stage, and then there's like the regular, like the staging.
So I said to the guy, go back home, Chipotle.
You know, like there's kind of like the yelly. Then there's like the
What's up, everybody? It's Sebastian Maniscalco. Welcome back to the podcast with Josh Peck.
you know, like he's got the quiet, just different modes. Yeah.
Do you think if you did something like SNL, like where they'll say they're famous for being like on a Friday, like, can you do this person who just popped?
Yeah, I
you
could do
could
that.
get it in a
Yeah, I don't know.
hour.
Yeah, that's. I think. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing now. Kind of figuring out people as they come up in terms of what's relevant. So, I think.
Wow. Ben, you have your what are you nuts?
Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. Which one should I pick? Okay. All right. So, go to dinner, get the check. Check comes. You fill out the tip. You fill out the total. You sign at the bottom. All of a sudden, you see customer copy. What are you, nuts? Customer copies in general. Nobody's ever taken a customer copy home. There's no reason to have a customer copy. Nobody's filing it away in their filing cabinet. These are meant to be taken, crumbled, and thrown away. And every single time I fill out a customer copy, I then need to fill out the regular copy because you're afraid that they'll come chasing you down the street if you didn't sign the regular copy. But the customer copy of a bill is what are you, nuts?
You know what? To add on to that, people who print out their boarding passes.
Yeah.
Like
Nuts.
what are you, nuts?
Yeah.
I mean,
Nuts.
this is unbelievable.
What are you flying, TWA? What is this, Pan Am?
What is
People in general who take receipts. Receipts are nuts. They're nuts.
They're nuts.
What are you doing with them? You can't even.
it's-
There's no system to look them up. At least when they're in your email, you could look it up.
I mean,
Right?
you got to
Bloomingdale's.
digitize. Yeah, put it in your Apple Wallet. What the hell?
It's in your
Digitize.
iWallet. Is that not a
And
thing?
your iWallet. Yeah, on your iWatch.
On my iWatch. What? Have you heard the Mitch Hedberg bit about receipts?
What? How does it go again?
He goes, I bought a donut the other day, and he asked me if I wanted a receipt. I said, I'm buying a donut. You give me the donut, I give you the money. Transaction complete. I can't imagine a scenario where we would need to bring pen and paper into this. I don't believe you bought that donut, man. Prove it. Like, you know.
That was pretty good.
I mean, he's my favorite.
You've done stand up, right?
Yeah.
Do you like? Would you ever want to like really go in on it?
No.
You would not. Okay, good. Because you could though.
It's so hard.
But
You know.
you could do it though.
How often are you going up in New York? Every night?
Like at least 5 nights a week.
I mean,
Wow.
because that's what you got to do to be great.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, but you could do that. Oh my God, your story that you just like you could have an hour already with stories. I'm sure you could do it quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I think the good thing is that I really love stand up. Like I
Yeah.
have a really healthy love and respect and appreciation for it, which keeps me far away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're in fucking Oppenheimer. Why the hell am I telling you to do a goddamn comedy
I don't
show?
want to be Jeremy Piven doing stand up. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just certain people and like it works. I'm sure you get some laughs, but
Holy shit.
that's a tough one.
That is so funny.
It's a little tough. They're like, do
my
Ari.
God.
That's all I would have to
Because
happen.
they would tell you
would
to be
tell me to hug me,
Josh.
brother, and I would
Yeah.
kill myself
They talk
on
about
stage.
Josh, you should put together 10 minutes and do it at the beginning of our tour.
Yeah, one day.
I think you should do that.
Well, we're gonna have to start. I realized if we're ever gonna do live dates, it's theaters or bust. I'm not doing fucking helium
You're-
and Sheboygan.
Of course it's theaters or bust.
You're not doing Magooby's Comedy Club in Timonium, Maryland.
No, I'm not doing the Chuckle Hut in Tallahassee.
So I guess, Josh, this is the difference between you and me then, right? Everything, Josh is just going to list all the things he's not going to do that I'm forced to go do in about 2 weeks.
Matt, you're 25. Okay, call me 20 years in if you're still doing the helium and
I don't think I will. Yeah. Let's take a prediction. Viewers, do we ever think it's going to get to a point where where this relationship escalates? You know, we're like, I'm in town. Let's get a drink.
Sure, I'd
You think
love
that'll
it.
happen? Really?
I don't know if you like me. I'm different than all the famous people you've been hanging out
No,
with.
you're just a guy.
I'm just a guy.
But those are my favorite types of people, though.
Good.
I don't want to be around like some person who's always fucking like
Yeah,
weird.
Like you're hanging out with Stamos, and
But
we love Stamos. We've had him on the show. He's a dear friend of mine. But you know, he never stops.
Yeah.
You
But
know-
I've seen him in the contest where he's like with his wife and kid. Like he's more chill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But
I haven't been like on set with him like you have. You know what I mean?
what can I say,
You Hollywood
grandfather?
bastard.
One
My God.
season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like to sink them quick. they call me the king of canceled. Ooh,
That's
maybe
what Will
that'll be
Arnett
my
said.
special.
Go ahead. Yeah, the king of.
Matt, thank you for coming on the pod.
This was a dream.
This is an honor.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you, and
Great
hope
to
see
meet you
guys-
too.
I hope
Next
to see you
time
soon.
you're in your hometown, maybe I'll see you.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'll be back in a week.
Excellent. And I'll come to the Gramercy. Everybody should go mattfriend.com. Check out all of the beautiful comedy dates that we have.
my
We have-
Instagram. Yeah, the Matt friend.
Yeah, plug anything you want to plug.
Just
Please
the
plug
Matt,
away.
the Matt friend on Instagram. Say hey.
The
Say,
Matt friend.
Hey.
I love it.
You
I
are the
won't be
best.
following, but
Yeah, it's
everyone
okay.
else follow him.
Thank you again.
He is brilliantly talented, and
It's
I'm
a dream to
massive
be with
fan.
you. Thank you so much. It is. I swear to God.
As
Crazy.
always, share the podcast with a friend. Rate it. If you don't give it 5 stars, what are you nuts? Send it to your mom. Send it to your grandma. We're all ages, family friendly. Find us on Apple. Find us on Spotify. Josh's YouTube for the video. This has been a very special episode. So many amazing impressions. So honestly, watch this one on YouTube. Highly recommend it. Matt, thanks again for joining us.